Hello everyone. In this video, I really just want to look at some of the recommendations that you have from Azure Security Center. I'm still at a Microsoft Word document for the Security Center where they're creating the Azure Security Center baseline. So I'm kind of mostly interested in this section right over here where enable security configuration level 1. So what it's telling you that Azure Security Center monitors security configurations by applying a set of over 150 recommended rules for hardening the OS. It also includes rules for network configurations like firewalls. It also like auditing and password policies. And to look at recommendation, what do you go? We'll do that in a moment, going to the live environment. There are some policies in here which are highly recommended for most most deployments, and we'll just read some of these rules over here. Like enable endpoint protection, like it's a no-brainer, right? It should be enabled for all virtual machines. Disk encryption, SSE, which is a storage level encryption, it's automatically enabled for all storage accounts within Azure, so you don't have to worry about that one. But on the top of it, Azure recommends that we should enable the disk level encryption for the virtual hard disk, and if you don't have that, you should enable that one. Like network security group, you should have NSG for to protect your resources. If you have a web application running, it's highly recommended that you should enable the web WAF, which is a web application firewall, which runs on a level on a layer 7. Vulnerability assessment, you should have vulnerability assessment enabled for all of these virtual machines so that you can quickly identify issues and take actions on it. Storage encryption, SSE, as I said, it's you should always have this enabled. Network access, you can have the just-in-time virtual machine access, and you can do that from the security center. You can enable that for the virtual machines. Enable adaptive application controls, you can also do that. SQL auditing and threat detection, databases are places where you store a lot of important data, so this is also another very important property that you should enable in your environment. SQL encryption, TDE is actually automatically enabled for all SQL, Azure SQL. But if you are using your own instances, you gotta use encryption and configure it for your own databases. This one says security contact email and phone number. This is something else. So we are gonna stop over here. So we looked at some of the major recommendations. Now let's go to the security center. So the easiest way to go all the time that I do, I just type wherever I want to go, security center, and that's once you're used to this, you will know which icon means what. So I already know that's where I want to be and I click on it. I'm at the security center, and you know that I have a security score. Previously it used to be a number, and these days they have changed that to a percentage. So it's saying I'm about 35% compliant. And here I have a nice graph showing how many resources are impacted, how many high security severity findings that I have, and how to fix some of that. And even I have the threat protection enabled. It looks like they have two different alerts for me that I can review. We went over some of this, so let's look at resource security hygiene. You can go to recommendations, you can go to compute and apps. If you go in here, this is a nice view where you can go and look at your VMs, say which VMs are doing pretty good and which one is not. I don't have any VM skill set. I'm not expecting anything. I don't have much here. It's a trial account that I'm using, so I have nothing else, only the VM. I have 3 VMs. If you click on the VM, it's gonna give me a more detailed view of items that are that are problematic. Here the recommendation: network traffic data collects agent should be installed. Now some of that is preview, but there's a quick fix. So if it's a quick fix, it's really it's just a click of a button. If you just click on remediate and you just select a resource and remediate one resource, and let's see what happens. So it should fix that problem for me automatically. So that's how easy it is. Okay, so and so it's while it's deploying, we can go back over here. So that's getting deployed. Management ports of the virtual machine should be protected with just-in-time network access. So we have not enabled the just-in-time, but we can for this machine if we like. But we'll have another lab to do that. And enable the built-in vulnerability assessment solution on virtual machine powered by Qualys. So this is also really no-brainer fix that you should apply. So let's click on that one. Go over here and let's see remediation step. Oh, there's already one remediation in progress, so you cannot do that at this time. So it looks like I gotta wait until this remediation is fixed. We cannot do this, so let's wait for a couple more seconds and then we'll come back. So while this is going on, let's look at some other. All network ports should be restricted on NSG associated with the VM. So we can do some of that stuff. We'll come back and look at some of this. If you look at past assessment, it's also going to tell you which one are passing, and there's some recommendations that are unavailable because of the our environment. Okay, so this one says that should be fixed. So let's come back to the recommendation. So this one, I think we fixed it. So now if we go back and go to this recommendation, remediation, it still thinks the remediation is progress. So it's gonna take a couple more minutes probably for Azure to update and rerun the assessment, most likely to understand that the other one is done and it can do this fix at this time. So let's do one more thing. Let me go maybe in another VM, and under the VM let's look at the recommendation, and in this one do I have the quality here? The quality is enable built-in vulnerability assessment. So let's go in here and let's do this one, remediate this one for Qualys. So Qualys is one of the industry leader for performing vulnerability management and scanning, and they have partnered with Microsoft to do the assessment. Now this one, it says remediation failed for whatever reason. So most of the time, if you really click on it, it usually is successful, and we'll have to look at the activity log and see why it failed. It's Ubuntu machine, maybe that the agent that they have is not compatible with this machine. So we'll do some more investigation on that one. What else do I want to talk about? You can look at different type of recommendations by resource type. So we were looking at the computes and app. You can go to networking. So you can look at the VNet over here. Overview, you have recommendation. There's one management portion virtual machine should be protected with just in time. So this, as I said, I will come back to that one. Data and storage, some stuff, they all looks like good. I have no problem. Identity access, if I go there, there's some MFS would be enabled for accounts with owner permission. So some things that we can definitely do to improve our score. So this is a quick overview of what I wanted to do. Maybe in the next video we'll come back and do some demo on the just-in-time VM access, because this is an important aspect and you only can avail this feature if you have the premium feature of security center enabled. What I mean, the standard feature, not the regular one, free. So if I go in there, pricing tier, I have the standard, and under the standard you have the just-in-time VM access. So we'll do the lab in the next video. That's all I wanted to cover in this one. Thank you for watching.